Innocence vs Ignorance. Everyone is born innocent and ignorant. They are afterwards only with the efforts and opportunities they become wiser. People won't be usually fully aware of their ignorance or innocence. Innocence must never be confused with ignorance. Innocence is a freedom from guilt. Ignorance is a lack of information. Quite interesting if we come to know about our innocence and ignorance. Yes, it's knowing ourselves. People think that we are expert and efficient. Often, when we come to know about our knowledge, we realize how much innocent and ignorant we are. When we come across achievers, successful people, compare their knowledge with us, we know our innocence and ignorance. Comparison is a measure. It is an eye-opener. Ignorance is characterized as a lack of knowledge, education, and awareness. Innocence is described as purity, lack of corruption, experience, or sophistication, not to do any wrong things or to commit any crime deliberately or not. Innocence and ignorance of everyone is not the same. They are different and vary from person to person. Innocence is free from sin, whereas ignorance is sin. Innocence can be both state and choice, but ignorance is mostly based on choice. Knowledge is medicine for ignorance, and innocence works as a shield for the side effects of knowledge. Ignorance is sometimes a blessing and sometimes it's not blessing at all. Innocence can be forgiven, but ignorance cannot be. Everyone likes innocence, but one may dislike ignorance. Innocence without cunning is really beautiful. Innocence is always remembered and appreciated. Life is meant to be drive away ignorance. I would say that innocence means you are unable to know something, while ignorance means you would know to choose it or not. There are two kinds of ignorance. The first, primary ignorance. That means when we do not know that we are ignorant. The second category is when we recognize our ignorance. This is called recognized or strategic ignorance. Sometimes the right kind of ignorance also good. Strategic ignorance is not about being closed-minded, but simply avoid unpleasant situations like negativity, negative thoughts, knowing unnecessary things. You create boundaries. You live your priorities and values and dreams. Being a successful, creative person requires selective ignorance. Selective ignorance is not the avoidance of learning, and it helps distraction. It's also not the avoidance of getting feedback. It's simply the intelligence of knowing that with certain things and people, it's knowing what to avoid. Being innocent is good, but too innocent is not. If you are too good for a person, then there is a scope that can be fooled easily. So try to become smart and limit your innocence. Knowledge has two sides. One is innocent and another is ignorant. How we place it really a matter. Ignorance is a state which exists before knowledge, whereas innocence is after knowledge. In short, ignorance is a pre-knowledge, whereas innocence is post-knowledge. Ignorance and innocence both denote a lack of knowledge on the part of the person in question. And whether it is considered to be ignorant or innocent is based on how it is perceived by another person. Ignorance is a blindness. Innocence and ignorance could be one's strength or weaknesses. Keep your innocence and ignorance aside and expose yourself to various situations and understand the deeper secrets of life. Innocence and ignorance are God's creation. We make mistakes and learn from them. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.